too. So.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, as I said, we are in Brainstorm, and we are very enthusiastic to present what we have done during the weekend. And we actually, none of us had a team when we came here, and we gathered the team during Friday. And the team members are Heikki, Santos, Petri, and Chambe, and me, Leo, plus Juha, who is sitting there. Why are you sitting there, Juha? How do I get the next page here? Thanks. Right, so the problem that we wanted to tackle was that when you are designing cities, you often make these miniatures out of them, but there is still quite a gap between the virtual model and the physical model. And we wanted to make an augmented reality application that would kind of function as a bridge between these two. How was it? Oh, really? Okay, great. Yeah, so we started brainstorming, and then we noticed that we probably want to also be able to place textures onto things that we project onto the real world. Basically, you could have a miniature, a 3D model of a miniature that you would project onto a miniature of a city. And then you could place textures inside this. And we also added another goal for ourselves, that we would like to see how the materials age, so how they change with time. Right, so we started 3D printing some models. This is Dipoli, and just to have something to work with. The 3D printer is actually built by our 3D printing experts. Yeah, and here you can see a little bit about the technology we used for placing a virtual model on top of the 3D printed model, just to get a texture onto it. And in the end, I think this is a pretty good way to engage people to innovate together, because the thing we made is it's kind of simple to use. You could have a kid working together with an expert, or a developer showing off something with this. Right, so the first picture here is of kind of the thing that we wanted to make. Then later on we realized that we could also basically use the same technology for placing an outline of a building, a proposed building, onto a map. Or for example, even project a 3D model of a proposed building onto an empty plot of land in the physical world. And now we would like to show you what we have made and how this make a technical demonstration, and afterwards we have a table there, and you can come and check it out. You just have to go to a web address, and it should run from there.
Okay. I will do the demo now, but before that, I really want to elaborate a little bit about the third picture over there. So we want to show a construction field. Maybe you walking by every day and you don't know what it would look like, even though there would be a picture. Then we will have this application. Then you can scan a QR code and you can actually see from your own device, from different angles, how it would look like in the real world. So that would be an awesome way for anyone to engage in city planning. That's what is, I believe. So let's now go to the demo. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah. basically, the functionality here, you can actually put the different texture here. This is copper, yep. I believe. Yeah, the copper you can directly place on the 3D model here. And there is another texture which is wood. And with this bar, you can see the different, after a few years, what it would look like in the real world. Those are the basic functionalities. And we believe we can add more texture, even more modules in the future. And we think this application has great potential. So we have a few pages of the same A4 paper over there. You can actually open the link. It's also displayed on the paper. Use your own mobile phone and play with it. Thank you.
All right. Any questions? And please, the AHYE group, come up to the stage.
Okay, once again, question from the designing perspective. I see kind of huge potential there, for example, to visualize what in architecture we usually have the 3D model on our designing program, and then we print 2D paper layouts of the first floor or area plans, but sometimes there is no time or resources to create a model, so we could easily perhaps with iPad view our model, which is intact and highly detailed, but not available as a physical media. So it wasn't actually a question, it was just note that I see huge potential there.
Thank you.
More questions?
Yeah, so we do plan to have a service where we have physical 3D print services for architect offices, landscape designers, and obviously because we can also use the existing landscape models, which are the white blocks, and we can use the existing miniature models, and with our application we can bring texture to these models. But obviously it's going to be a service where we have physical 3D printing services and some tools for architect offices, but also engagement tools for the city people who are living there.
Other question?
The QR code is basically two dimensions, right? So I saw you put a board on it, but the thing you want to see is three dimension, which means that you cannot turn the paper upside down. If you do this way, will your model like turn as your action does?
Well, basically, I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly, but sort of the view angle that you can see the QR code from is like from sort of you can't see it from behind, but basically when you're if the QR code is here and
Yeah.
viewing it from here, basically the 3D model stays in the same place. So you from the QR code you get the transformation matrix for the object. So basically it will track the QR code, and when you move your sort of camera around, it will calculate the sort of where the 3D model should be in the image. So as long as it's sort of the range of the to see the QR code clearly and get the transformation matrix, it should sort of the the virtual reality should be on top of the real reality. So
Okay.
You are
stay
this
in
group,
place.
huh?
7.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
It's not a question. It's another invitation question actually. So I would like to hear more about this application, as now we are planning the new building Vare, and we are going to have like a construction fence there to be for 2-3 years or so. So how we could kind of, with this application, to give people information what the building would look like, and so on, other possibilities we might have there. So let's discuss about this later.
Okay, my question is, you use the QR code to position the 3D model, but what is your tackle on the like real situation where you don't have the QR code, or do you want to use the QR codes even in like everyday use when you go by empty area and you want to visualize the 3D model?
Do you mean that the QR code is the sort of the what that we are using just the QR code to get the sort of the 3D model in place, that we don't have different kinds of methods?
Well, my question is, if you want to visualize a large building that you see through some mobile device on an empty space where you don't have the QR code visible, how do you position it correctly, and how do you combine it with the video from the device?
In that case, I guess the QR code should be like in sort of, for example, in a lamp post. So basically, your device would be looking at the horizon, and then the 3D model would be sort of overlaid on that. But I guess technically, because for example outdoors, because the object is so far away, you could for example use the QR code just to activate sort of the 3D view, and then use, for example, the gyroscope of the device to sort of see in which direction it's looking at, and then sort of get the position from that. So that there could be, but we didn't have time to do that kind of thing. But in theory, that sort of an outdoors location might require some different technologies. So because the QR code sort of you always need to have the QR code in sort of a view in order to get the position.
Yeah, thank you.
I actually have another point of view. So your phone usually have an orientation and GPS. So basically, if you know the model is like over there, if it's stored in the cloud, if you stand over there and you know there will be some other building, of course you can see it. Maybe not. What I understand, the orientation in mobile devices are not that accurate, but somehow you can still see it in some ways. It's possible without QR code.
Okay.